Hey guys, Trevor here with Ecommerce Paradise. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to do niche research, and I'm going to show you a specific example of doing niche research specifically today for off-grid solar power stations. But just to get started, here's my niche research process, and it's really simple. Most people, though, don't really understand this, so that's why I'm making these videos to help you guys out. Usually people charge for information like this through like a course or coaching or something like that, but I'd give it away absolutely for free just because I want to help the community. I want to bring you guys up and help you to escape your 9-to-5 and to live remotely, become a digital nomad, and travel the world and just live the life of your dreams, not be stuck in a dead-end job. All right, so let's get into it. Basically, the first step of starting a high-ticket dropshipping business is niche research. You want to find a profitable product to sell online, and usually with high-ticket dropshipping, you're not just looking for one product, you're looking for a whole group of products, multiple suppliers. It's basically like an online retail store. Like if you think of like a retail storefront, that's kind of what this business model is like. It's like an online version of a retail storefront where you sell multiple brands around a particular product category. So just to start out, you do not want to start a general store because general stores don't convert very well. Because these are high-ticket products, expensive products, people want to see that you are a category-based website. So category-based websites convert way better. You might think in the beginning that it's a lot harder to scale a category-based website higher, but the truth is that they're very scalable. And you do that simply by focusing on really good customer service and upselling and just providing like the best marketing possible to close sales. So with that said, this is a whole process, and if you want more information, you can definitely go check out my website, ecommerceparadise.com. Lots of free guides, all about high-ticket dropshipping. I have a whole list of the best products for high-ticket dropshipping, which I'm going to show you right now. I also have an article that kind of goes over what this video is about, which is how to find the best suppliers, because that's sort of one of the main sticking points where everybody's confused. Also, before you get started, you'll need to know about business information stuff, which includes bank accounts and credit cards, so I have those articles here. And there's lots more articles on the website that we produce all the time with lots of tips, so definitely get into the blog. We have a lot of great recommended partner offers. Shopify, for instance, you can try for three days and $1 a month for the first 3 months. Right now, that's their offer. Shopify is what we use for all our stores. You can get a domain name with Namecheap for only $6.49, which is like half the price of GoDaddy. G Suite, which is now called Google Workspace, offers a free 14-day trial with our link. And Grasshopper, which is the VoIP system that we use to do phone calls for our company. Works really well. I recommend them. Busy, which is the LLC filing company I recommend. Traveling Mailbox is for a virtual mailbox service, so you don't have to use your home address on your website. KW Finder is really good for determining demand and competition with particular category keywords and brand keywords and product keywords. And the Shopify themes that we use for the website are produced by Out of the Sandbox. So that's why these are our top recommended partner offers, but we also have more on our resources page. We offer a plethora of services, done for you services, so you can check that out. And if you have any questions, just send us contact forms. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So like I said, I'm going to go over researching off-grid power stations in this video. Check the YouTube channel, subscribe, because I'm going to be producing videos for all these different ideas I have here, plus all the ones that are on the best products for high-ticket dropshipping page, which I'll just open into that right now so you can kind of take a look. All right, so I've organized them by niches. So as you can see in home appliances, there's a lot of different home appliance niches, furniture niches, that kind of stuff. So there's about 10 or so niches here and about 10 or so categories of products within each one. So you can kind of like follow this research video to kind of learn how to do it yourself, and then you can go ahead and do it for all of those things as well. So go check that out. I'll put the link in the description. So without further ado, let's get into it. First step is to actually get a VPN. If you're in the US, you can definitely avoid having to use a VPN, but a VPN is a good thing to have because you can put yourself in different parts of the US. So like if you're in, Seattle, for instance, you can put yourself in Dallas, Atlanta, Los Angeles at any given time. And people have different ads and bids and all that, different big cities. So it's a good idea to use a VPN. And also, if you're going to travel abroad, Like for instance, I'm traveling and I'm in Indonesia at the moment, so Bali, and I want to put myself in the U.S. before I do niche research. Otherwise, none of the results are going to show up because what we use is Google Shopping and Bing Shopping. Okay, you can do research through Google Organics, but most of the time you'll find the most active and selling and successful websites are in Google Shopping. So keep that in mind. All right, so next step is to go to Google Shopping. And of course, you can also go to Bing Shopping because people advertise on Bing as well. You might find a completely different set of stores through Bing Shopping, so it's always a good idea to do the research there too. Okay, so let's just put this whole keyword in and see what comes up. Now, keep in mind, when you're searching for generic keywords, which is like a category keyword, you don't have any kind of brand or product or model or SKU number in there, you're probably going to get a lot of big box stores advertising first because they use agencies that don't really understand how to bid higher on branded keywords. We use a multi-tier shopping campaign system, so we actually bid higher on branded keywords. Like for instance, instead of bidding really high on this keyword right here that's generic and then popping our ad up first, like this advertiser, we only bid if someone typed in Jackery and then maybe like the number 300 because that's like the product number, right? And so we would only show up then. So I'll take that as an example here. If you click any one of these product results and you just copy and paste that particular product back in, you'll see that it's a completely different set of advertisers. In this case, Jackery themselves are advertising. And if we go more, you'll see that, again, it's Amazon, Walmart, but also you're going to start seeing some, niche stores. And the reason I know it's a niche store is that they sell only a particular set of, category of products, like a general niche, like Homestead Supplier. They're only going to sell things for homesteaders. Or Solar Cells USA, that's probably a solar-specific site, right? So when you're looking at websites to research, what you want to do is you want to definitely look for niche sites to begin with. That's what I always do. So skip past all the big brands and big box stores. Look for sites that have the keyword in the domain or something similar to it, a general niche. Earth tech products, that might be a niche store, for instance. So what I usually do is I want to pull up a bunch of these and see if any one of them matches our criteria. And the first criteria is that it's a niche store. So usually I just open them in Google. The first thing is I want to see if it's a Shopify store or not, because that's what we use and that's what everybody that does this business model uses, and this is not a Shopify store, it's an older store. So keep in mind some of their suppliers that they have might be kind of grandfathered in from years and years and years ago, and they might not be doing dropshipping for new suppliers or new retailers. Next thing I want to see is, do they have a retail storefront or not? So I look for an address on their website, usually right in their footer, and we're going to check and see if there's like a picture of an actual retail storefront, or if it's like some sort of a virtual office address where they have a like a UPS store or something like that. It's kind of hard to tell with the trees in the way on this one, but let's see. Barber, insurance, pink nails, home care, Kenco, Asian cuisine, State Farm, eyelash extension. So I think these guys must be using some sort of a virtual office address that's at this location. I'm assuming it's this business here probably, because they offer like insurance, and maybe they have like a mailbox address thing that they offer. Let's see if it's this one. Diner, yeah. Yeah, so I don't see a storefront with their name on it, so they're probably online only, but they might have something unique set up where they like kind of have a tiny little showroom, and that will allow them to get certain suppliers, but most of their suppliers are probably dropshipping suppliers still, so yeah, that's that. All right, now in this thing I have listed these down again. So finding niche sites, that's the first thing. Check if they're on Shopify, physical location. And the next thing is to check if they have multiple brands or not, because that's what a retailer does. They sell multiple brands. They don't just sell one brand, because a lot of suppliers, they might look like a retailer, but then they only sell their one brand, and they don't have different brands of products. Brands can sometimes be hard to distinguish between a brand and a model, but usually brands are going to be specifically have their name on the product. But yeah, again, like it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, so you just kind of have to do the best you can to figure out if it's separate brands or not. So first, let's go to their homepage. Usually a retailer, when they're selling multiple brands, is going to list their brands on their homepage that they carry, or they're going to have a separate brands page of some sort. I don't see that here, but looking at the product names, I can kind of see right off the bat they have multiple brands. It's BioLite, Jackery, Anchor, Nature's Generator, Blue Eddy. So they're definitely a retailer. So this would work. You could extract all the brands from this website and then go out and create your own, but this is not a good website to model after. It's not Shopify. It's an older website based maybe on BigCommerce or something like that, or, let's see if it says down here. Your store wizards, yeah, I don't know. So I wouldn't, I would hold off on modeling after them, but I would definitely consider, extracting their suppliers. So all these brand names, you can put them into a list, and you could, then find their websites just by typing into Google the name of the website, and then find their contact info and contact them. Here's another website. May or may not be Shopify, but the way you tell if it's Shopify or not is really easy. Is you just check the URL structure. So this one is not Shopify. If it was, it would say collections or products / Again, it's probably a BigCommerce or WordPress-based website. They do have multiple brands, which is great, but they seems like a bigger business. They might have a physical location or a showroom. Let's check. Service centers. Okay, yeah. So. Oh, these are just like partners, probably. Well, they might not have a physical location because it looks like right off the bat you can't really see it, but definitely an older site, grandfathered in. I wouldn't, right off the bat recommend if you could, dropship all these brands. They look like really big name brands, and most of the time we're looking for brands that are like lesser known name brands. So let's kind of skip past that for now. Flash Fish Solar Generator. It kind of sounds like a brand. Yeah, it's a brand. Usually retail sites are going to have a name that has the branding first and then the niche first and then branding after it. Whereas a brand is going to have the branding first and the niche after it. So it's like the opposite. So let's check this one out. This sounds more like a broad site. Obviously they have appliances, ranges, fits, so it's more like under that home appliance section. You can see here they have a ton of different categories. So it's not a great site to model after for beginners, especially just because they have a ton of different brands, categories. But it looks like they don't have any kind of physical location, so that's a good thing. And to check if they're on Shopify, just check any one of their product category pages, and it says collection /, so it's definitely Shopify. So it definitely matches all the criteria. It's just not like a smaller niche site, more like a broader niche site. So I would say that one would be good to model after if you have a lot of experience and a lot of money to invest and a lot of time. So let's keep looking. Off-grid stores. Sounds like a niche site. Okay, cool. Yeah, this looks like probably Shopify. You click category, yep, collection /, that's good. They have a address listed, but it's a suite, which makes me almost 99% positive it's a virtual office address. But let's double check. Premier Workspaces, yep. So it's a virtual office address. It's on Shopify. They are selling multiple brands, it looks like. Brands, yep, lots of brands. Okay, great. So it's like, this is one of the best stores to model after. It's a niche site, Shopify store, multiple brands, no physical location. You can do deeper research to find out if this is an older store or not, but one of the easiest ways to figure that out is to take the, I should put that in the instructions here, but put the collections /all, and that's kind of a hack for Shopify stores, and then you go to best selling, and you can see one of the telltale signs of a site that's been around a long time is one that sells a lot of add-ons and accessories and upgrades and things like that. Because this is going to be sorted by the volume of products sold, not by the dollar amount. So you're going to see a lot of these like lower priced products sometimes in these high ticket stores that are being sold a lot, because with every single order, people are buying these as an upgrade to that particular order, right? And these are older stores that know exactly about these products and what people need with them, and then they're providing a solution that they need with it. So it's really smart. But you can see their best sellers right at the top. Rich Solar, EcoFlow. And yeah, so there's like two main best sellers that they have, and you can kind of keep going further down the rabbit hole here to find more. Blue Eddy is the next one, Energy. And So right off the bat, you can just tell like what are their top 5 best-selling suppliers, and then you'll know which ones you should probably go after to get for your store, because usually every store is kind of the same. It's like 80-20. 80% of the suppliers, get 20% of the sales. So Sun Gold Power. So that's like top 5 suppliers there. Although you can extract their entire list right from their menu, just copy and paste this into a spreadsheet, and then you would easily just be able to search Google for each brand name to find their website. Usually, it's easy to find, and then you just kind of go to Contact Us page, and you can contact them. Now, if you're making a solar site, I would not recommend right away adding a compostable toilet to it, which is what these guys sell. I would recommend focusing on the solar stuff and then maybe adding that kind of stuff later as an add-on category once you start scaling. If you are starting some sort of a off-grid or homesteading site, then yeah, that's probably not a bad idea, is to add categories like that. Like you can model your store after these categories, even just to begin with. Generators, panels, batteries, inverters, components, and then other supplies. You can build out a Shopify store that looks fairly similar to this, and you can try to just find similar types of products, but unbranded, or maybe just take them off Alibaba or AliExpress, like direct from the source, and then create demo products and a demo site. And I have a great deal with Shopify. If you just go to our resources page or our homepage, you can go and click the link to sign up for Shopify. It's right here, and $1 for your first month. First 3 months, I forget what it is. I think it's 3 days free and $1 a month for your first 3 months or something like that. Yeah, $1 a month, 3 days free, and 1 month for $1. Okay, so they're always changing their offer, but this is the best offer at this time to sign up for Shopify. So definitely get your free trial there. And then the theme that I recommend using is Pixel Union themes, and specifically they have a really good one by Out of the Sandbox, which is their partner company, called the Superstore theme. And this particular one works really good for high-ticket dropshipping. You can go to their website and you can view the demo store and get kind of an idea. You can also, kind of just model it after this, but most of these guys are using a similar theme, which is the Superstore theme. It's kind of you got all this stuff, kind of looks like an Amazon store, You might want to keep it a little bit more simple when you first start, because it's hard to build out like a really big optimized website in the beginning, but you just want to kind of model after what they're doing. Basically, that's the idea. Once you've built your store, you can start reaching out to these suppliers. You'll want to make sure that you have your business formation stuff ready, and that includes having a LLC, EIN number, registered agent address, virtual mailbox, business checking, business credit card, seller's permit in your state, business phone number, and you'll want to hire a bookkeeper accountant later, but for sure you need all this stuff, and I should definitely add to this, get an email address, but and a domain, obviously. But so you'll need all that stuff, and the most important thing is the seller's permit. A lot of people look past that, but with high-ticket dropshipping, to become an authorized dealer of a brand, you need to get a seller's permit. It's like a business license kind of a thing in a state, and that gives you the right to collect sales tax in that particular state, and then remit it to the state. And then that tells suppliers you're a legitimate business, and they always ask for that because they need to deal with taxes. We have a whole article on how to get a seller's permit in each state. So all the states are listed here, so just go ahead and you can find that really easily. So that's definitely how to get started. And this is pretty much the whole list of things you need to do. Now there's also more stuff you can do to find out which competitors are the best ones and which ones you should model after and stuff like that. You definitely want to separate them out. Find the search volume of the main category keywords using KW Finder. See if the main category keywords are seasonal using Google Trends. Check how many competitors there are and how many suppliers there are, throughout all the sites. Find the best-selling brands and products. I already showed you how to do that. You can go through and find their contact, the backlinks, find out what's working for them using KW Finder as well. You can find out their email lists. You can check and see if those products are available in big box retail stores. If they're not, it's actually better because then you're not competing so much. In the slower cases, niche they are. So you'll be up against more competition. You'll have to compete better. Are the suppliers not named brands? That's also a very important thing. Is there competition, supply and demand? Yes. Usually, at least if there's competition and demand, that's the most important thing. And there's not too much competition, that's the important thing too. In seller kits, there might be a lot of competition, so you got to be wary of that. But basically, you just want to make sure that it's profitable. That means there's enough demand, enough competition. There's people buying this stuff all the time, so you can build a site, make it better. And is it something you have any knowledge or interest or experience in, or you're willing to learn about? Because you're going to have to, in the beginning, if you're doing this by yourself, you're going to have to do the customer service and sales yourself. So you definitely want to learn about the products. Okay, hopefully it's something you have some experience in. That'll really give you, a leg up. Let's go over some notes I made here. Not every verified niche will end up working for you. Sometimes you'll run into problems later that you need to find solutions for. Like some of that, can be like certain niche markets. The suppliers just like always require you to have a retail storefront, or like sometimes the suppliers, their products are so complicated they want you to have like business insurance or something like that. You're just going to need to find like workarounds for all the problems you're going to run into. But if you're willing to do the work, make the connections, help the customers, any verified niche could potentially work for you. But keep in mind, this business model is not affiliate marketing. You capture the payments. You're responsible for ensuring the product is delivered to the customer in new condition and the customer is satisfied. If there's any problems with that, which you're relying on your supplier to do, you may get a chargeback or a request for a refund or return, and you're going to have to deal with that. So just keep that in mind. You're not getting commissions. You are taking the payment. And you're responsible for the products. So you really got to work with good suppliers. Okay, you can theoretically scale your business up as much as you want because it's drop shipping. You don't have to hold inventory. There are cash flow problems you'll need to deal with the bigger that you get, like payment processing holds, reserves, limitations, chargebacks, disputes, returns, damaged shipments, warranty issues, and overall customer service work, which will require you to hire virtual assistants that you scale up to help you, which costs more. And you really got to be mindful of your ad spend as you scale and make sure that the ads are actually profitable. Okay. I found the sweet spot for revenue in solo entrepreneur businesses is somewhere between 50 to 200,000 revenue per month, with a average net profit of 5 to 10% after ads and VAs and expenses, which means you'll be making a net profit around 2,500 to all the way up to maybe 20,000 or more per month. But just keep in mind those cash flow issues can tie up a lot of that profit. Month by month, things can change, especially with seasonality. Let's say you have a seasonal niche that's like really seasonal, spring, summer, so you get tons of orders, and then maybe like fall, winter, it's slower, right? So you don't get as many orders, and you start getting maybe some like returns and refunds after the holiday season. It can be kind of tough, right? So you got to keep in mind that, and you got to keep a cash reserve to, be able to cover that, especially if you start getting a bunch of chargebacks. Payment processors will put you on holds, and that can really tie up cash a lot too. It's kind of like they just like keep a savings account in case you screw up. All right, and then keep in mind also, margins can vary a lot due to shipping costs, volume, supplier relationship strength, and back orders, and more. Shipping costs tends to be the biggest one with high-ticket drop shipping. If you have a product that is a really big product, let's say like a big gun safe, the shipping can cost up to $500 to $1,000, and if the margin is, decent, 10, 20, maybe 30% on the product, but the product is only like $1,000 or $2,000 product, it's not going to cover the shipping costs, right? So you got to have really high ticket expensive products to cover really high shipping costs. And you'll learn this over time with each supplier and stuff like that, but you just got to be mindful of that. In the beginning, you might get some unprofitable orders due to shipping costs, and you're just going to have to update your store. And then if, for some reason the pricing that in the margins just won't work for the shipping costs, then you just have to make a decision to remove the product from your store. Also, with high ticket dropshipping, back orders are definitely a normal part of dropshipping. The way it works is you get an order that's not in stock, and you ask the customer if they can wait, and they agree to wait. You follow up usually at least once a week or more often until the shipment is due. Sometimes back orders get pushed out further due to shipping delays or port delays, and sometimes customers will want to keep their order, but sometimes they'll want to cancel. You need to capture the payment when they agree to the back order and have a clear cancellation policy on your website that states a minimum of 3 to 5% cancellation fees, so you can cover the costs of the merchant processing fee because you're not going to get that back. The merchant processors no longer refund merchant processing fees after you capture orders, so you will be liable for that loss. A lot of times people cancel orders, they don't care. They're not going to pay the fee, and even if you charge them the fee, you refund a partial refund, they'll file a chargeback and they'll win because they didn't get a product. Happens a lot. Also, back orders can make you feel like you have a ton of cash all of a sudden, and that's a trap. Put that money aside, or at least keep track of it properly so you don't end up spending that money and that isn't profit on scaling or on other expenses or personal expenses and end up in a deficit with a ton of credit card debt later. Okay, that's really important. A lot of people do that, so avoid that trap. Definitely sign up for an accounting app. I use Finaloop. Finaloop is really good. Go to the resources page. I'll add it soon. Speaking of credit cards, you're going to need to have some source of capital to fund the cash flow for your operations. It takes money to deposit. It takes time for the money to deposit to your business checking account from your payment processor, usually like 2 to 5 days. This can be done easier with Shopify Balance and just having your supplier charge your debit card for orders, but then you don't get any points. So if you have a good credit, you should apply for business and personal credit cards that get you points and cash back for the cost of goods, purchases, and ad spends and expenses. I recommend Chase, Amex, and Capital One, and I have a whole article on which credit cards to use. I already showed you the list of guides here, and it's under there. Best credit cards for high-ticket dropshipping. I really recommend Amex Business Gold for ad spend and Chasing Preferred for ad spend. Capital One Spark Miles and Spark Cash both get you the most points, but they have limited redemption options. Chasing Unlimited has more redemption options. Chasing Premier is similar to Capital One Spark. Amex Blue Business Cash and Plus are decent cards. Amex Marriott Bonvoy Business, Hilton Honors Business, those are both really good as well. And there's more, but these are my favorites, and these are the ones I use the most often, so you can watch the video as well. Also, you need to have an LLC, or you should have an LLC. You can probably start without one, but it's probably a good idea to have one. Depending on your state, you also need a seller's permit of some sort. This is changing over time. Now they have, like multi-state seller's permits and stuff like that, so definitely look that up and do your research there. Also, depending on your state, might need to get a DBA as well for your business, like California. But I recommend filing for an LLC in either Wyoming or South Dakota and getting a multi-state seller's permit. That's kind of the way to do it now. You can open a Chase account by going to a branch, or if you're overseas, you can open a Wise account instead. It really depends on your particular situation, but here's my favorite LLC filing company, which is Busy, which is also my resources page and homepage. And if you need help, specifically just for that kind of stuff, I can help you with private coaching. We also offer a done-for-you service to help you through each of the steps getting one of these stores set up and launched. This is our turnkey service. You can see it on our homepage here. We call it a business-in-a-box service because basically we do all the niche research and setup and stuff like that for you, and then we build your store, set up marketing, launch ads, all that stuff, get Google Merch Center approved. And then what we can help you with after that happens is actually managing and continuing to scale your store. But the build process usually takes maybe 2 to 3 months, and we give you 1 month free of the management and scaling service, so you can see how it works. And then after that, you can decide whether you want to pay us for the ongoing management and scaling service. It's basically our team doing for your stores what they normally do for my stores. So it's a really good deal, because usually VAs cost at least $700-800 a month on average. And it takes a team of like maybe 3 or 4 VAs to get all this work done. So you'll end up spending more than that, which is great. So it's a really good deal. We got a bunch of success stories. Been doing this, for the last 5 years or so. Works really well. So here's a list of all the stuff that we do for you. This is all the stuff you would need to do yourself if you went and did it yourself. So if you want to just do it yourself, you can kind of just go through this list and create your own checklist and get it done. But it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. So if you have a business already, or you have a job and you just don't have much time, but you want to get one of these businesses set up, the fee is pretty low to get started here. So definitely check this out. The ongoing fees will be covered eventually by the profits. These stores can be quite profitable, so you won't have to do too much work. You'll just have to kind of be the CFO and manage your finances. That's kind of the main thing. You can book a free consultation to talk with me or just get started right here. Usually people start with the beginner package, which is 5 suppliers and a small niche site. But if you are ready to invest more and want a bigger site, you can get 15 or 30 suppliers here, and we do all the work for you. For $5,000, it's a really good offer, and I don't think anybody offers it that low. Usually people offer $5,000 for like a done with you service, but not a done for you service. So definitely keep that in mind as you're going about this. We can help you out. All right, and if you want to get your feet wet with dropshipping and you can't do high ticket because you're young or just don't have the resources necessary, I would recommend giving affiliate marketing a try, or low ticket dropshipping, or print on demand, or Kindle publishing, or just freelancing for an established business. There are many ways to make money online. This is just one that I found that worked well for me for the past 15 years or so, and still works today. I've been through many ups and downs, from shutting down multiple stores that never panned out, to making over 10 million in revenue in a single year during the pandemic. With 2 different stores, and now I still run a couple of stores while helping clients, and I'm really focusing more on helping clients and building and launching and scaling their own stores. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment below in the video, and make sure you subscribe. Definitely check out the products list. You can go through and do that same niche research. You can find all the stores, get some idea of the niche, and then once you kind of have an idea what niche you want to sell and you need help and you want help, definitely sign up for a free consultation with my turnkey service, or you can just go to the contact us page and drop a note here for email, and I'll email you. Also, I have some courses available too. The free course I have is a high ticket dropshipping secrets course. It's at academy.ecommerceparadise.com, so you can sign up for free for that. gets you kind of some more ideas of what you're going to be going through, you know, and kind of like the way to make this stuff work. And then for, you know, as low as $29 a week, you can get enrolled in my masterclass, which is a full, you know, over-the-shoulder course. So definitely check that out. I got lots of different, you know, upgrade options here, but just trying to keep the price low so you guys can get in there and kind of have like an idea of what you need to do, you know, to build these stores out. And as you can see, it's a really, really nice, deep, in-depth course with tons of different videos, and yeah, so definitely one of the most in-depth courses out there. All right, guys, well, I hope this was helpful to you guys. Definitely subscribe to the channel for more of these videos, and I'll be putting them out hopefully, you know, 2 or 3 a week at least. And hit the like button and comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you out there.